guys. I literally met Lou at Whole Foods with PK, and now we're here. So just want to talk about self-belief and how important it is just in your business and overall evolution. So yeah, Lou, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation. I think that was such a beautiful way for us to meet. Yeah, I was visiting Minnesota. I go often now, and I think the first time I went to Whole Foods, I found like one person was like looking at me, one like young girl, and I'm like, okay, like no one looks at you in Minnesota, so that's interesting. And then someone else within kind of the same group, but they were not together, right? Look, it's also looking at me and said, "Oh, I like your outfit," and I'm like, my outfit's just a Monet gear sweater, right? So it's like, oh, probably this person is a market partner. And then a third person comes and then she's like, are you Lou? And I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy that we have people in Minnesota that I would meet so fast because as I said, it was like, I think the first time I was there. So that made me super happy to connect with the three of them. And my name is Lou, for those of you who don't know me yet, and Lou Urdaneta, but just call me Lou. And I am part of the founding family of the company. I run different areas in our company: recognition, gear, gratitude, sustainability, anything culture related. So I'm part of the development process of most of the products or marketing campaigns that are going to go out. So it's a lot of like working with the different teams, putting together different projects.
Wow,
That's a summary. That's a summary. I don't know if you guys have specific questions, but that's a summary.
Yes. So I kind of want to just talk about like how you found like yours like belief in the gratitude program and like just because I know when we did go to lunch, you kind of talked a little bit about like, you know, I kind of had to find like my role because like my brother, I mean, he's like the CEO, he does like everything. So like, like you being his sister, you know, how did you like find your just light in that gratitude program and then like the belief too?
Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second. Let me close the door because like I feel like there will be noise happening very soon.
Oh, no, no worries.
Okay, I'm alone in my apartment, but I feel like people got here, but no. Okay, well, yeah. Where do I start with that question? I feel like it's just a very broad question, so I'm going to try to bring it to self-belief, right? And the importance of understanding, I think, who you are, and understanding what you want. I often talk about this, like you first need to understand what you want and how do you want to feel, in my opinion and in my experience, in order to start putting together manifestations lists or to-do lists or like a list of dreams that I want to accomplish this year. I always say, like, in my opinion, you should start with how do you want to feel and what do you want to feel and where do you want to be. And for that, you need to understand who you are and where you are in life, right? Before anything else. So for me, to find the space within Monat was a little bit of a challenge because within my family, I'm the most, let's say, creative and spiritually vocal person. I'm not gonna say most spiritual, but because everyone in my family is very spiritual, everyone believes pretty much a lot in God. But I'm very vocal about it, and for me, like, it's such an important part of not only who I am, but who we are as a family and what Monat is. So with that in mind, I started thinking, okay, like what what should be my main focus. Like both of my siblings, my two brothers, Javi and Ray, both of them are older than me. And both of them are very operational, very structured, very business. And even though, I started working with my family when I was 16, um, and I am a very business oriented person too. As I said, I'm the most creative probably out of them. um, I'm more similar to my dad. I think like my dad really connects with like passion and people and how to create and really make a difference and how to create an impact. I feel like that's what really resonates with me, and like that's where I flourish and shine the most. So even though I am also a business person, when we started Monet, I'm like, okay, let me just be part of the team. First of all, we were like 7 or 8 people when we were putting together the idea. So everyone was doing everything, like literally. I think like I signed contracts for like, I don't know, our customer service team at the time. And I didn't really know anything about operations or customer service management, but we were all doing a little bit of everything. And at that time I said, you know what, I want to create a space within Monet where I can do good and I can bring a message of unity, of inspiration for our market partners. So it's not the company, it's almost like the new wave of network marketing meets the all, right? And we come together and like it's a mix of my dad and my brothers and me putting together a company with a heart and putting together a network marketing company that offers and talks about other things, not only monetary, which is amazing. We all love wealth. That's why we're here. But not only talks about that, it talks about other things too. It talks about leaving a mark, creating a legacy, creating a company for generations to come, making things that in the future makes you feel proud, doing things that you feel like really represent your essence and who you are and your values. And that's when Monet Gratitude was born. It was born out of thinking, how can we have an area? Like, should we have an area? Like, and it was almost like a conversation with my family. Should we have a department, right, that is focused on the culture and the messaging and then the main focus of what we want out of this company, which is, everything should be funded, everything should fall, everything should rise in gratitude. And gratitude is not only a beauty, like a pretty word that we use. Gratitude is a way of living life. Gratitude is not only giving money and donating or volunteering. Gratitude is being kind, being understanding, being respectful. Showing gratitude is not only being, you know, um, cool on social media and nice on social media. It is also respecting other people's beliefs and understanding, hey, we're gonna agree to disagree. And like that's the kind of community we want to create within Monat. On Saturday I had my keynote at Director Summit, and I was talking a lot about, the first time I talked about like gratitude being a movement and the foundation of Monat. I believe it was in 2015 in our first summit. And I remember saying, that the biggest challenge for Monet is that we are gonna grow. We're gonna grow fast. We know it, we feel it. We know that we are attracting the right people. And because we're gonna grow fast, it will be a challenge to find a way to keep this feeling of family, of like, of love, of kindness, of gratitude, of understanding each other. And when we are thousands of people inside of a room, it's going to be everyone's responsibility. Like everyone in this room has like part of the responsibility to keep that feeling, and I was just kind of reminding everyone on Saturday, because there were all the directors were there, and and I was saying, everything starts here in this room, in this group of people. Like if we all understand the importance of living in gratitude, and not only talking about that, and not only doing things all like once in a while, but understanding that we are living as a community, we're choosing to live in gratitude. We're gonna be able to like keep that feeling, you know, years and years to come. So the importance of like that self-belief is huge, because if I wouldn't have gone to that place right at the very beginning of the foundation of the company, I would have never thought of like, oh, what is going to be the foundation of our culture, or what is going to be like a word that is going to like include everything: the giving, the living, the lifestyle, the believing. I would have never gone there. And, you know, if it's written and it's supposed to happen, God was going to use someone else to make that happen for Monat. I'm not saying, no, it's happening because of me. I'm saying, you know, I was able to channel that message. I was able to manifest that for the company just because I asked myself, what can I do from my powers, from my talents, from my essence, from my love, from who I am? What can I do for this company to be bigger and better than what it is already? And I'm gonna say it again, like it was gonna happen regardless. But I have the fortune and the honor to say, oh, I started that conversation, because I started to say, what do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? I remember growing up in in this industry, not in the company, but like I've seen my father doing this all my life. Literally, he has over 35 years doing this, and I'm not 30 yet. So literally all my life, I've been seeing him doing this. Um, I always knew like I love this industry. I completely love this industry, but I want to do other things that also brings joy to my heart. And you know, I got to understand at some point, like, does a car drive me? Like, do I get excited because I'm gonna have a Rolls Royce? You know, and like year after year I would ask myself that, do I get excited because I'm going to have a big mansion in Miami Beach? And I would feel very weird, because most people in my family or like my close circle would feel very excited about that. And I feel like my father really like gets in a high, you know, thinking of like having a bigger boat and a bigger car and a better like flying private every time. And that's amazing, and I enjoy that, and I am all about it. Please, God, give it to me. But I got to understand at some point that doesn't make me like wake up in the morning and like be excited, you know, oh my God, today is the day that I'm like, you know. And I'm pretty sure everyone has gone through a similar feeling, not the exact same feeling, but a similar feeling. And then with time I started to understand, yeah, that that's not my why. My why is to touch people's life, to be able to carry a message of unity, to be able to um, feel like I'm really like, if I'm gone tomorrow, out of like, if I'm gone out of this world, like people say, oh yeah, she worked really hard to leave a mark, you know. Other than, oh, she was rich and she was not even 30. That's cool, that's amazing, like I love that, and I admired every single person that does that. And me myself, thank God, yeah, there is a lot of wealth, you know, for me, and there will be more. But I will love to feel like if I leave, I'm leaving a message of, you know, she worked really hard to make this place better. So that doesn't make me an angel or anything. That's just my why, you know. And going back to Gabriela's question is, why why was I able to almost create a space within Monat? Because I knew what really made me excited. I knew how I wanted to feel within my family, within my circle. And I knew that I wanted to create a legacy that talked, you know, about wealth, about opportunities, about life changes, but also about really taking responsibility of making the world better. And that's, you know, something that could be happening to all of you too. You know, are maybe joining the business, or are new in the business, or have done social media businesses and network marketing for many years now, like I have for 13 years doing this, you know. So it's not like I'm something new for me. So if I was joining a company, and I were in your positions, I was in your position right now, I would be really asking me these questions, you know, like how can I really bring my power to the best? Like how can I really use my talents? How can I really create a space within Monat that it's mine, is unique? Like I don't need to copy anyone, but I can be inspired by everyone, and I can go and check the person that is the complete opposite of who I am, because that's also going to bring revelations. Like to see how someone is handling and managing the business, someone that is the complete opposite, that's a lot of learning opportunities there, but without letting myself get lost in between those lines, you know. But on the other side, like almost finding like my power as I see the different ways, the different opportunities, that like there is literally no limits if you start by like understanding who you are and what you want and what you want to feel. You, if you do that, you'll create your space 100%.
Wow. Wow. Lou, God speaks through you.
Amen. Thank you.
Like speaks through you, and amen to all of that, because it's so true. Like you have to know your role. Why are you here on this earth, and what are you, like why are you here in the business, and what are you bringing to the table, and being so aware of your feelings and how you feel like all the time. It's so important to be so aware. And wow, that was just, I'm blown away right now. That was just so beautiful. I guess another question I had for you is, you know, when we're on that high of like believe, like, oh my gosh, like I got a VRP or like a market partner or whatever it may be, like, how do you deal with, you know, maybe for an example in the gratitude program, if you're dealing with some contrast, like dealing with like, what is going on? Like, why is this not working out? Like, how do you deal with that contrast?
That's funny because I feel like I'm going through that. You know what? I feel like we are all going through that constantly, because um, that's what life is about. Like you'll never like feel like, oh, everything's going great, like, and this is the way that things are gonna stay, you know. Like that's why last year, sorry, like I'm gonna give some perspective, I'm gonna get to your question, but last year, like so many businesses were growing so fast, right? Because of the pandemic, because people were looking for a place, a community to be part of, because people were looking for income opportunities in, you know, not only their jobs but looking for extra, or maybe they lost their jobs. Like you guys know already, like why we grow so fast last year. And I would always come into calls that people will invite me to, and I would be like, hey, like this is not reality. Like your business is like on a road of growth, you know, month after month, because of the context, because of what's happening. But this business is about ups and downs, you know. And I would speak with a few of them that would have like, oh, I've been growing for 10 months in a row, and I would say, well, get ready, because you're not going to be growing probably, you know, in the next few months. And don't feel like a failure, feel and understand that that's real life, that's reality. So to your question on how do I handle that, like I don't only run gratitude, as I said, like I have 5 big departments under me, so it's overwhelming sometimes, you know, like with my personal life, my boyfriend, my family, my mom, my sisters, my brothers. It's a lot of demand that, and then my job, and then not being an employee only but being owner in the company too. It's like this needs to work. Like I don't really have another, I don't have a choice. It's not like tomorrow I can just say, oh, you know what, too much like too much pressure. Like I want to live in a month, I don't know, hike every day. It's not that I can do that, but it's what I want. No, because there is a reason why I know I'm an entrepreneur, and that there is a reason why I know I have a why, and I want to change people's life, and I want to touch people's life. That's it. So because I understand what I want to do, right, I get overwhelmed. I start thinking, how do I make time for everything? Oh my god, my schedule is crazy. What do I do? I usually go back to basics when that's, when I get to that point of like, I'm not getting the sales that I want here, for instance, in this area, or like like this specific gratitude project is not working because I don't know, like whatever. I go back to basics. I start like cleaning, literally. Like this is something like, it's funny because I had never been asked this, but I literally go clean my notes. Like I take maybe like a few hours of any random day if I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I clean my notes. I go through all notes. I look at my calendars. I start like seeing everything, like as much as I can, everything. I start making lists by area. I'm like, what is not working in gratitude? What is not working in this other area? Why am I overwhelmed in this area? What is my 80/20, right? And 80/20 is something that really works for me, right? You have to think on what are the income generator activities out of your day. What is really bringing ROI? What is really bringing return of investment of your time? Like, is it really to be on Instagram creating content? Maybe, or not. Maybe, you know what, I'm not prospecting enough. I'm not making enough prospecting calls, so I'm not getting enough market partners under me. I'm not prospecting enough VIPs, so I'm not having enough VIPs a month. I'm not making enough calls a day. I'm not making enough, I don't know, I'm not sending enough text messages out. So for me, if you ask me, a lot of the times it's like, I'm not achieving this. Why am I not achieving this? Oh, like I'm spending too much time in too many meetings, right? And that this happened to me recently. Like 2 weeks ago, I was like absolutely overwhelmed. I told my boyfriend and everyone, hey, I need this day, like today, I'm not gonna be on my phone. I'm just gonna like literally close the door of my office, and I need to like just clear my mind and understand why, things are not working right now. And that usually really helps me, so I can understand. I go back to basics, and most of the time I find that, oh, I stopped doing this one thing. Like maybe I stopped looking at this number every day, or I stopped having this weekly meeting. Why did I stop having this weekly meeting? I don't know, life happens. But then that weekly meeting kept me going on this specific area. Oh, let me just go back to that weekly meeting. Or, oh, you know what, I'm not talking to my team every morning and at 9 a.m. as I was used to, and now I'm like kind of like scattered throughout the day. That's why I'm feeling like out of touch. Like that's why I'm not in a flow of work that allows me oversee all of my areas in a very effective way. So it all goes back to me, Gabi, to like time with myself. I feel like we are right now, like I could have a day with 8 different Zoom meetings and back to back with no lunch break. I have one day like that in my calendar this week. And I called my assistant and I said, hey, you cannot allow this to happen. Like I need to have a lunch break, because most of the time I don't even take an hour to eat, but I need a break because I need to answer text messages, look at my emails really quick, go to the bathroom, go to my balcony. I don't know, like I need an hour. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, this was very urgent. And so maybe I'm having too many Zoom meetings, and then I'm like, oh, like, and I talk to her, or I do it myself. Hey, let's start blocking times in my week, so I work on a specific things that I need to do. And blocking time in my calendar is like, I literally block everything. Like, since I wake up until I go to sleep, I block every single thing in my calendar. And I'm very flexible with it. Like, if one day I have to move things around, I do it. But usually on Sundays, I check my calendar and I have a very, very good understanding of what's going to happen in my week, work wise and also personal, actually. So if I see that Thursday is open at night and I haven't seen my mom in a week, I'm like, hey, mommy, should we have dinner on Thursday? Yes. Like, literally, I do that on the weekends and I have a plan already. And again, I'm very flexible. So if I have to adjust, I would completely adjust, but I have a really good like vision of my week. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed and I see that something is not working, I go back to my basics and I usually find two or three things that I'm like, I'm not sure why I stopped doing this, but I stopped. So now I need to just go back to that.
Yeah, I really liked how you said, like, I'm literally just, when we feel overwhelmed, when you're like, I'm not even going to go on my phone. Cause like, if you're so just like scatterbrained, you literally can't even focus like anything, like not even the basics. So it really is so important to find that clarity. Like, I've been practicing that so much, like with my meditations, just find clarity so you
Yeah.
can go in the direction where you want to go. So
Yeah.
that's beautiful. I'm like, wow, I'm doing something right, because that's what Lou said. So
Uh, well, I hope that's the case, but also like, in just to like get a little deeper on that, like, I know that you really lead your team with like your beliefs. And if everyone here understands like whatever like you use to kind of like get to know yourself better. I heard people talking about enneagrams, other people talking about astrology, other people talking just about like self knowledge and like reading and understanding a lot of like type A personality, B, C, colors, yellow, green, whatever. How, like, whatever it is that you use to understand yourself better. And if you haven't done that, I invite you to do that. Like, you should do that. Be you should be finding ways to understand you better. Okay, as a business owner, as a woman, especially, I don't know if we have guys in this call, but you need to find ways. Do we have guys or just girls?
I don't, I don't,
Just
just women.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, girl. Good. Like, we need to understand what happens with our bodies, right? As the month goes by, regardless on how you want to call it. Is it maybe your period? Is maybe the moon, if you believe in that? Is whatever it is, ups and downs that we have, we need to find a way to understand. Maybe you're a very emotional person, maybe you're not, maybe you're very like focused and like brain oriented person, very like operational, whatever it is. You need to find ways to understand you, because then you have tools. Then you're like, why am I so emotional today? What's going on? Well, maybe I haven't had enough me time. Maybe tonight I just need to like have a 2 hours for me, watch a show, or maybe like read if you like to read, or whatever it is, but you need to understand yourself so you can run a business. Like, and that's why, I think, Abby, that a lot of like this stigma of like men are better for leadership positions because they are less emotional. I don't believe that. I think that I believe that what happens is that guys think less, right? And because they think less, they understand less of themselves, so they have the opportunity to focus more on the outside. And it's like, oh, I just had a big fight with my girlfriend, but whatever, like, I need to close the door and I'm gonna get into like my job, my day job. And for us it's different. For us, we get into like a fight and it might be hard, to close that door and say, oh no, wait, I have a big meeting coming up, so let me just stop crying. But you are thinking, like we as girls or women, we think, we rationalize more, we go more into our feelings. So I always say, I always talk with women in positions of leadership, and I said, you need to know yourself. Like, if you don't understand why are you a crier, then how are you going to stop crying? Like, if you don't understand why are you so emotional, how are you going to teach yourself to handle your emotions better, right? If you don't understand why are you such a straightforward person that hurts everyone every time you talk, how are you going to teach yourself to be a little bit more sensitive? Like, you need to understand, and that's going to affect your performance, right, as a leader, in everything in your life. The way you treat your team, the way you treat your partner, the way you treat your family, the way you are a friend, the way you're a daughter, everything. So as a leader, you need to understand yourself, so when you are overwhelmed, you have your formula. I'm like, you know what, I'm overwhelmed. I need my five to-do list, my 5 things that I need to check off when I'm overwhelmed.
Wow. Yeah. It's so, like I said, like it's so important to know yourself, to be so aware and ask yourself, like, why do I feel like this? And why am I like so affected by this? And I I've been doing so much practice of that, because it really truly like says who you are as a leader. And everything you do, you guys, how you do anything is how you do everything. Literally, it's so true. And all of that what you said is just so beautiful, Lou. I just have one more question, and then I promise we're done.
Of
um,
course.
when when you are feeling that contrast, how do you gain back your momentum of your self-belief? Is it like you go back to your why? But like, I mean, I guess, yeah, do you go back to your why, or do you like, yeah.
Um, I guess, and someone was also asking, like, how have you learned to understand yourself better? Like, I guess that, I have always been someone very interested in like understanding myself. So I've gone through many different paths. Um, I really understand like and I didn't think that this was going to be a business call to get into that, but like I really understand my astral chart. I don't know if you say it like that in English, but I really understand what are different influences over me in that sense. Not because, oh my God, like if someone very Christian here, like I say this with all respect because I'm a Christian myself, but when I read that and I find things that I can connect with, and I say, this really happens to me, this really happens to me, this also happens to me, and I get to understand, oh, okay, that this is a pattern, right? That I have, that I can connect with this. Then when I find myself in situations where I'm like, oh, wait a sec, like this is almost automatic. This is like I'm programmed to react like this to this specific situation. So I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna think. I'm gonna like give myself space because I know this is kind of like the way that I was programmed, right? But I also like Enneagram has helped me like so much. It's crazy. Like I read so much about it. I've been like I was gonna sign up for a class, but I don't remember what happened last year that I couldn't do it. That has helped me like a lot because then I'm like, okay, why am I such a workaholic? Like why can I not have like a moment of peace? Like sometimes it's like a Sunday 10 a.m. and my boyfriend is like, let's not be productive today, not today, let's just watch TV. And I'm like, can we clean the kitchen? Like, can we, I don't know, let's do 30-minute cardio, let's do something. And then when I started understanding about my Enneagram, I'm a 3 wing 2. I have a very hard time like just letting myself go and enjoying the moment. Then when my boyfriend says, hey, let's just rest today, let's not be productive, I'm like, true, let's not be productive because I need to learn how to just enjoy, right? So a lot of different tools, obviously also a lot of just self-awareness and a lot of honesty. A lot of honesty. I feel like a lot of us are just like very used to lie to ourselves. And it's like, why are you lying? Like the other day I was talking to a friend, and she was having issues with her boyfriend, and the boyfriend told her, I mean, you guys don't know her, so I can give like tell the story. The boyfriend told her like, you are a very mean person when you're mad, and da 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 da. And she was telling me this, and I'm like, where you mean? Where you mean? Like in the fight, where you mean? I don't think so. I think I said the truth. And I remember I told her, hey, you need to stay, you need to start being more honest with yourself, because no one is judging you. Like, if you are honest with yourself first and you start like saying, yes, I am a very mean person. Why am I a mean person? Let me see how my parents are. Let me see how my siblings are. Let me see, why did I build this almost like defensiveness reaction mode? Why? Oh, it was because I grew up like this. It's because I'm defending myself from this. And then you say, yes, I was very mean, but I'm not gonna accept it. I'm not gonna accept it. Yes, no, because my ego is bigger than me, my pride, my thing, da da da. But at least be honest with yourself. At least say like, I was mean, but I'm not gonna accept it. But start by that. Start by being honest. So if you start by being honest, then little by little, maybe within a month, maybe within two, maybe within a year, you can start also being honest with other people. But it's gonna be a process of starting with my relationship with myself. So when I doubt, and it happens to me, girls, it happens to me all the time when I'm like in a self-doubt mode, or like I'm very deep into my emotions. I'm an emotional being that I'm learning very, very much to be more like grounded. The other day I was talking to a mentor of mine, and she gave me a beautiful, beautiful exercise. She said, Lou, when you're feeling too much in your emotions, like I have a lot of water in my chart, like just like do an exercise, a grounding exercise every day. Stand up, visualize a tree. Like do not like my apartment view is the water, so try not to be there. Ground yourself, put a grounding meditation for 5 minutes, and just like literally stay still for like 5 minutes, so you can start like almost like help you ground every day, because your emotions are all over the place. And I did that when we talk, and it helped me so much. So I do have a lot of those moments, but I have like I've developed a level of certainty that everything happens for a reason, that really helps me go through any situation. One, two, I every day, every single day, I worked on being honest with myself, and that allows me to have very beautiful conversations and open conversations with my team members, with my supervisors, in this case, my brothers or my dad or Stuart, with my boyfriend, like a lot of conversations that I like, oh my god, like if I didn't work on being honest with myself, I couldn't have this conversation with my partner, and it really affects everything in my life. um so being honest with myself, having a lot of certainty, and then getting like knowing myself at a level where I'm like, why am I treating myself other than being my best friend? Like, why am I not being my best friend right now? Like, if I feel like I'm failing in this, why am I not telling me, girl, you're gonna get through this, don't worry, it's everything gonna be okay, it's a phase, everything goes up and down, You're not going to be winning all the time, but if you keep on just like chopping the tree, it's just going to, like, I go back to John Maxwell. I'm a John Maxwell freak. Like, I love him. I'm obsessed with him since I'm like 15. So, he talks a lot about every day. What are you doing every day? Are you being consistent? Are you being, are you focused? Are you clear on what your goals are? Yes, no. I allow myself to change my perspective, which I think it's huge. I feel like a lot of us are very like focused on, this is my belief and that's it. And if I change this, like, oh my God, like, what if I change this? And now, like a week ago I was against this and now I support it. Well, you need to allow yourself to change your perspective. Otherwise, how are you going to grow? How are you going to go to other levels? How are you going to go to your next level if you don't allow yourself to like just change, allow yourself to change? um, so all of those things really helped me. I'm not sure who asked the question on the chat, but for you, Gabby, like, how do I go back to like, it's a combination of so many things, and I feel like I spoke so much, but it's not one answer. It's not one answer. And I remind myself that this is not happening to me only. Like, we are all going through this. We all feel lost at some point. I don't know if someone in this call was in our director summit, but Mel Robbins was in our summit. She was unbelievable. And she said something so beautiful that now I'm doing it. Because I found also in my process that when I wake up, right in the moment that I wake up, it's my most emotional moment of my day, right? So I wake up and a lot of like thoughts come into my brain. I start feeling overwhelming that I have 8 meetings and not lunch break and blah, blah, blah. So I found myself there and I started doing the grounding practice that my mentor recommended. But then Mel said, right when you wake up, put your like feel your heartbeat and tell yourself, I'm well, I'm healthy, I'm okay, this is gonna be a good day. Like, talk to yourself right in the moment that you wake up, so you can kind of like set the tone, right, for the rest of the day. And since she said it on Friday, I've been doing it. It has been so beautiful. Like, I literally, like, I remember I did it this morning. Like, I just woke up and I'm like, my God, this week I'm overwhelmed. Like, so many thoughts, right away. Not even like without getting myself out of the bed, just like waking up and I'm like, you're good. I'm good. I'm like, I can attract everything I want. Everything's going to be okay. Just do what you have to do. Don't get distracted. Keep your focus. Do your lists. Be consistent every day. Every day. What do you do every single day? Right? It's what matters. So that really helps me.
Yeah, I actually, to kind of jump off that, I have been praying right away, just like, thank you, God, for waking me up another day. Like, I've been just trying to wake up right away in gratitude. And it's so crazy how the mind shifts. Like, you instantly attract gratitude and just like life. Like, oh, I'm happy. Like, I'm good. My gosh, Lou, like, thank you so much for this call. Thank you for everything that you literally said. You spoke so many volumes, and I'm just feeling so loved by you and like this entire team. Thank you so much.
I love you guys. I love you, PK, everyone. Like, thank you for inviting me. This is so beautiful. Like, I haven't had a call like this, to be honest, like kind of like similar age, very aligned in our beliefs, and just driving the business from this perspective is so, so beautiful. One thing I can tell you guys, do not stop. Do not stop. Like, do not like do not take yourself out of a beautiful picture that you have been creating, that you are creating. And if something is not healthy, if something is not really working, then change it. I said something also on my keynote on Saturday, like, you are the creator of your reality, co-creator with God, of course, because when God has a plan, girl, is that or nothing. But you are the co-creator, right? Like you literally see who you are. You literally see what you are. So when you don't like something of your reality, congratulations. You created it, you can change it. If you like it, congratulations. Keep doing what you like. But if you don't like it, you can change it. Like you have that power. So if there is something going on in your business, for instance, that it's like, oh, I'm not feeling this is healthy for me, or I don't like this person, or this is not working, I'm not bringing market partners, I'm not bringing VIPs, change your perspective and your reality is going to change as well. Okay. But it's never ever about what's going on in the outside, ever. Like a lot of the times it's like, this is a toxic environment for me, and it's like, well, you're just gonna go into another toxic environment, let me tell you. Like if you don't change yourself first, and you're like, this is a toxic relationship, that's why I have to leave him. No, you need to change yourself, you need to leave him in that order, right? And then you are going to manifest a relationship that is not toxic, not the other way around, because then you're just going to get into the same situation over and over again. So same thing with the business. Okay, for some of you, oh, maybe this is not working for me, this is toxic for me, this is whatever for me. It's all with us first, all within us first, and then you can start manifesting other realities. But thank you for inviting me. I love you guys.
Love
Gracias.
you so much. Thank you for co-creating with me, and have a beautiful day. Everyone have a beautiful day. Love you.
Bye, guys. Have a beautiful February. Bye bye.